Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you are having a blessed day so far. I'd like to talk a little bit about the Grammys. Okay, a quick disclaimer: I didn't watch it. Okay, I don't think that you really have to get an idea of what's going on in our society and in our culture. And what is going on, you may ask, in case you can't really see it. I will tell you. It is a complete controlled demolition. Okay, the old adage is that politics runs downstream from culture. So if you have a crazy Bond villain, the idea or the best way to gain control over a society and a culture, or is to get a hold of a country politically, so to speak, is to alter the culture and to change public opinion. And in order to build a foundation with this change, it's typically, in the past, we've seen something sporadic, a defining moment, right? Whether it's Pearl Harbor, whether it's 9/11, the failed or the Gulf of Tonkin, Bay of Pigs, these types of things where there's a direct attack, change intrinsically to our nation or society, and then we have to then lash out. Public opinion changes right away. We saw it after 9/11. Signs up, American flags. This way, but see, that died out. What they're doing now, and by they I mean the elites, the powers that be, whether it's, you could talk about the current administration, you could talk about China, all a part, of course, with some other aspects, but we'll get into that at some other point. What I'm trying to explain is that this is a slow burn. We keep hearing the analogy of the frog being boiled alive in water. And if you increase the temperature ever so slightly, the frog doesn't know. The frog doesn't realize that it's being boiled alive, right? And that's what's happening to us. It's very minuscule increments, incrementally over time, so we can't, it's like attempting to watch the hour hand move on the clock. You can't really do it if you stare at it, right? But you go about your day and your life, and then you turn around and you're like, oh man, wow, look at that. 2 hours have passed. So that's essentially what's going on. The Grammys is a prime example of that, right? We're seeing the normalization of a demonic tinge to literally everything. It was normal, it was borderline acceptable when this was occurring with heavy metal, right? But some of the stuff that's going on in mainstream music and pop music, like Sam Smith, is like literally, in my opinion, more of a demonic tinge than I don't know, Lamb of God, a band like Lamb of God, right? For instance. And that is because, you know what you're getting into when you listen to heavy metal, okay? You know it. It's not secretive, okay? But if you listen to what's going on in the mainstream music, see, it's subtle. And see, kids have access to this. Most parents realize that heavy metal probably isn't a good type of music for children, okay? But, okay, Sam Smith, whatever's on the radio, that's what I'm describing, okay? It's very similar to to a Trojan horse, a real life Trojan horse, okay? Where we see people that we would trust and respect, that we have in the past, all of a sudden, just turn into, I don't know what's going on, okay? So the solution to this, okay, is to stop listening to this type of music, and to stop allowing your children to have access to this type of media and to this type of material. But you see, what that takes time and attention, okay? That takes the ability to keep an eye on them. And we're so preoccupied with all sorts of stuff. You know, we gotta pay things, we gotta be somewhere, we gotta fulfill this certain ABCD. You know, that you know, just let the government, let the government take care of the children. Okay, that's fine. They'll do a better job than us anyway, right? And so they go off to schools, into public schools, and then they come back, and you know, of course, while they're in school, they're being told that, you know, what we, the teachers, teach you is the correct way. And your parents, when you go home, you see your parents, they're going to tell you the exact opposite. And we're going to go ahead and let you know, see, that's what's called bigotry. You know, don't listen to your parents, okay? See, that's the old generation. That's from the past. You see, we are the progressives, and we're inclusive. Hate has no place here. So what we need you to do is completely defy the familial foundation, the familial structure, okay? And every time that this has happened in history, and it has happened before, think of communist Russia, Soviet Russia, for example, this always leads to a completely catastrophic and a destruction of society. The fabric completely unravels. So it takes time and attention. You know, would I recommend homeschooling children? Absolutely. Would I recommend certain sites, certain, you know, see, that doesn't even work anymore though, because the sites that you would think are safe are not safe, right? And that sounds absolutely bonkers. I would get rid of Disney Plus. I'd get rid of all of that. Take your kids outside. Don't put them in front of a screen, okay? Your kids aren't going to learn this material if they're outside using their imaginations, okay? They're being indoctrinated while we are preoccupied. So we have to wake up to this. We have to see what's going on. You know, we have to, with a fine-tooth comb, go over every little piece of media, every little piece of or at least the best that we can. I know it's impossible to do it all the time, you know, especially with access to phones and the technology. But I think we need to do a better job at curating the experience of what it is to be a child. They need to go outside. They need to utilize their imagination. You see, the creativity atrophies over time, right? They're in front of a screen. They're essentially zombies because everything is stimulated. Everything is done for them. They're not reading a book. They're not playing cops and robbers outside, you know? And so I think as a result of that, they're literally just turning into completely submissive, docile order followers, and it's a complete travesty. And we see that that's what's happening with our culture and our society, and it absolutely has to change. So what do we do? Okay, that's essentially what we have to do. We have to play more of an active role. Okay, I hope this video has been helpful. We'll definitely be going into greater detail in terms of what's going on with our world and how we can fix it, how we can do something to change the trajectory. So I hope that you're having a great and blessed day, and see you on the next one. God bless.